Hello again. This is Tom Quinlan, the director of the St. Joseph Educational Center in West Des Moines, Iowa, continuing to explore the Gospels for these Sundays during Advent. We're picking up with the third week of Advent, whose Gospel is from John, chapter 1, 6 to 8, and verse 19 to 28. It's great to be with you as we continue to consider what it means to be waiting and preparing in darkness and stillness and joyful, hopeful expectation for the coming of Jesus, the coming of our salvation. So in this gospel, John the Baptist plays a prominent role. And the very first sentences are, "A man named John was sent from God. He came for testimony, to testify to the light, so that all might believe through him. He was not the light, but he came to testify to the light." So right off the bat, I'm connecting with this motif of darkness and light. And in this week, we are entering into the shortest days of the year and approaching next weekend, the winter solstice. And that's always been a difficult time for me when the sun is going down early and there's long darkness. I tend to feel that. I don't mind the cold and the snow so much in winter as the darkness. And the exciting thing for people like me is that the solstice marks the bottoming out of darkness and the increasing now daylight that will come for the next 6 months. So I invite you to consider what darkness and light mean in your life literally. If you also feel the darkness in kind of a weighty sense in your life. Some people suffer from something called seasonal affect disorder, especially at this time of the year. But also there's this idea of juxtapositioning darkness and light in our lives, evil and grace, suffering and joy, and how we have to live in the in-between state here on earth of sin and grace, suffering and joy, knowing that our saving God in Jesus comes to bring us light, which John talks about. And he humbly speaks to the reality that he is not the one, he is not the light that's going to dispel darkness. He is yet to come, but he is speaking, testifying to the light. In this regard, John is demonstrating for us what it means to be truly humble. And there's a misunderstanding, I think, about humility. It is not where somebody does not think that they matter, that they have no gifts or talents. Humility is recognizing one's true identity, and as people of faith, people recognizing that we are made in the image and likeness of God. The Christian carries his or her humility with a dignity, with the sense of their inherent beauty, because they are indeed in the image of God, and a sense that their life is filled with meaning, filled with purpose, because they are loved. They were created and loved and by God, and that raises us up from our finite, vulnerable, sinful, fragile state to one of great value and beauty and purpose. So we thank God for loving us, for creating us out of his love. And we then are challenged to try to help our children understand, what does it mean to be humble as a believer in Jesus? It means that we understand we're not God. And we're guilty in our society of lots of idolatries. There are a lot of things that can displace the one and true God in our lives and take on a godlike place. In fact, we can put ourselves at the center of the universe and be under the impression that somehow we are the creator of our lives, the captain of our fate, when in fact it is God who is God, and we are creature, not creator. But we should also help our children understand that because of our human nature, we are the masterpiece of God's creation, that we carry with us, whether or not we have successes, whether we do well on a test or not, make the team or not, are popular or not, are powerful or not, are wealthy or not. It doesn't matter. Each and every one of us is called to live out our gifts and our human nature, our dignity, with a sense of purpose because of God's infinite and unconditional love for us. So this really is good news, and John models this for us. He shows us that he could have said, I am the one, and gotten caught up in all of that. And he said, no, I'm not. The one who I am here to proclaim is yet to come. And of course, that was Jesus. So, questions I have for us as we try to help our children understand how to embrace our role, our place, our dignity, our beauty, but not enter into idolatrous thinking and behavior. How well do we hold the tension between being small, limited, flawed, finite, with being lifted up to great meaning because of God's image being impressed on our nature and because of God's love for us? And how do we carry and reflect the light of Jesus into the world, into the lives of those people around us, and beyond our circle of family and friends and coworkers? That's what John was doing. His mission was to bring the good news of the one who is to come, Jesus, into the world, to bring light to dispel the darkness in which the world lived. As we enter into these darkest days of winter, and as we face the increasing challenges of the health crisis we call COVID-19, you are in my thoughts and prayers, and I ask you to prayerfully consider that even in the deepest darkness, the hardest of winters, God is near. God is there in your life and mine, waiting to embrace us, to love us, and to save us. And this is our good news.